What's good? Council of Comics, film and box office news, episode 60. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Council of Comics, welcome to the Film and Box Office News Live Podcast, episode number 60. We got a lot to talk about today. Gen V, Loki, and our movie of the week, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Those are pillows.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone superhuman who can come and save my life. Crisis after crisis.
Council of Comics, welcome to the Film and Box Office News Live Podcast, episode number 60 for this Sunday, November 5th. Hope everybody out there is having a wonderful, wonderful day. Of course, as always, I have my wonderful council, Cliff, Phil, Green Shirt Guy. How you doing today?
What's up?
Excellent.
Good. Anything special happened today you want to talk about real quick?
I did lacrosse.
Green Shirt Guy made some money.
I made some.
Cliff.
I made a little paper.
Yesterday was my goddaughter's birthday. That was very nice.
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 How old?
One. It was first birthday.
Oh,
Happy
even
birthday.
better. Did
Happy
you
birthday. Happy birthday.
Did you give her a smash cake?
No, nothing like that. And it's funny. I got her two storybooks from my childhood, and like I wrote a message in each of them for her. And then I saw these really cool Linkimals, right? Is what they're called. And like so like, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta get these for my great niece. Like they're amazing. They all connect by Bluetooth and talk to each other and sing songs. And every time you add a new one to the group, more stuff happens. Very cool.
Nice. Anything with you, Phil?
For this weekend, yeah, nothing too much. There was nothing like I didn't get to Loki yet. Oh, sorry, I didn't get.
So you, Cliff, did you watch Loki?
Yeah.
So Phil and Green Shirt Guy, we're gonna talk about it. If you don't want to hear anything, you're gonna have to mute on your end.
Okay.
And I watched
I'm like one. I'm like I said. I'm 1.5 behind.
Yeah. Shout out to TM Nerdy, where Cliff just came from on their show Collecting with Durs. He says this movie was the worst. Cliff, I know you say this is one of your favorites. So
it is one of my favorites.
We got a
They've
worst
been home
and we
for the
got a
holidays.
favorites. Oh, TM Nerdy says no, he's just kidding. It was a really
You
good
can't go
movie.
wrong with
okay.
John Candy. You can't go wrong with John Candy, baby.
No, you can't. Larry Jackson's in the house. What up, Larry?
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in, Larry. All right, I want to go through some stuff. Green Sugar, I'm just gonna mute you for a second because there's just a little hiss in the background. I'll bring you back after all the intros in the beginning. So on Sundays, we are part of the Sunday YouTube Bangers lineup. So at 10 a.m. is Madam Blaster. Check that out on the YouTube channel. At 10:45, you have Church with Bleecker at Bleecker_Street_comics. The next, hold on, I got it here. Then we have Collecting with Durs at 3 p.m. with TM Nerdy for their Sunday sesh. Then at 5 p.m., of course, you're here. The Council of Comics, you're here with us watching. And then at 8:30, we have Legion of Comics. Great channel. Check them out after us. Have a little dinner or something after we're done. And get yourself ready for that. 8:30, blah, blah, blah. And then at 9 p.m., Black Crown Comics for their weekly comic wrap-up. And at 10 o'clock, our boy Trev the Shipping Guru is on at 10 with Evils. And they're doing their late night show. That's the best Sunday lineup in the game. If you don't want to do anything on Sundays but talk about comics, you put this lineup on and it will entertain you until the end. All right, next up, Young at Heart Foundation. This organization that I met out in California. They do great things for the kids that have like transplant stories. They're getting medical things done. Ken Roland won our giveaway last week, and he wanted us to donate to Young at Heart Foundation. I got in touch with Mike, and he says, oh man, I wish I could have clipped it and put it up there. He loves the comic community. He's so thankful. Gave me the address, and I'm going to be shipping that out to him this week. And if you guys want to be a part of that, let me get this banner out of here. You can give Mike a call at 323-396-9998, or you can email him at info@youngatheartfoundation.com. You can register to become a donor, and you can even sponsor a Hope Kit that's 100% tax deductible, where they put some things together for the kids, and they give them gifts, and they also get people to come and visit them. Next up, we have Alterniverse. It's our favorite comic book shop. This is where we do all our filming, where we have our family get-togethers. I do consider it a family. Every Tuesday, it's become a wonderful ride. They are located at 870 Violet Avenue in Hyde Park, New York. You want to get in touch with Anthony at 845-233-4234, or you can email him at alterniverse2@aol.com, and check out the website alterniverse.net, where they have your comics, cards, and toys, and they offer the Hudson Valley's best selection of comics. And everything is bagged and boarded. All the comics are bagged and boarded, so you're guaranteed to have your comic be in pristine condition. We also film there on Tuesday, so if you want to make a cameo, come between 4 and 7:30. Even shoot us a message maybe and let us know you're coming, and we'll put you in some skits. We'll get you part of the show. We have a YouTube channel that you are watching currently. If not, if you're on the Facebooks, jump over to the YouTube, please. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Helps with the algorithm. A couple of videos that we got up. The skits episode 3, collecting skits number 8 through 10 that we've done, is up. We have a theme song on there and some set drama. Also coming up on the 11th, we have council conversations with Joey and myself. We talked a little bit about video games, and I thought it was a good thing to show the whole video. It was a really nice conversation. New Comic Book Day is our weekly variety show that we put on every week, where we do skits, conversations, talk about our comic books, or anything wacky that happens on there. That's our weekly show. Cliff's Corner is dropping its CGC blind unboxing number 2 tomorrow morning, so make sure you tune in and like for that. And of course, we have tons of other videos like Story Time, where we narrate the comic book and special effects, all that. Pop Culture Crash, where we talk about things. We had to team up with Toy Games. There's also comic book pickups and many, 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 many more things. Whew. All right, did I get through all that?
Yes.
Did I get through all that?
Look who else joined us in the chat.
Who joined us?
First, what's up to Felix? Thank you.
What up, Felix?
for joining in. But I think you recognize this face.
Evelyn Hill,
Yeah.
you have arrived. Shout out. Thank you for joining us. It's always great to have new people on. That was me.
Yes.
That was me with the.
Well, that's baby
That-
Evelyn in the picture. That's what I'm seeing.
All right, so let me do this. First thing we're gonna talk about is what we watched this week. There's 2 important things. Green Shirt Guy and Phil. You might wanna.
3
mute
important
yourself.
things.
What's the other one?
Invincible first episode.
Oh my goodness! I'll bring that up. Yes, you are so correct. Invincible episode number 1 also dropped. First thing I want to talk about is this Gen V. Gen V season finale. For those of you that don't know, this is the spinoff from The Boys on Amazon, and it's about superheroes. They have like their own college, and they go have powers, but it's a lot darker than that. But it had a season finale, and the ending, Homelander shows up at the end. And man, I gotta say, the presence of the actor and the presence of Homelander, as soon as he flew in and landed and the camera went on his face, I was like, this is one of the greatest villains of all time. Fear gripped me outside the TV, and I know, and you could feel the fear that gripped everybody else on this college campus. They're all superheroes, they all got powers, but as soon as he landed, oh, everybody shut up. And then the one character was like, Sir Marie right here. She's like, Sir. And all he does is lift up his finger and shakes his finger. And she shuts up. And this is going to lead directly into season 4 of The Boys. So if you have not watched Gen V, you need to watch it. It's very important and critical to season 4 of The Boys. Cliff, what do you think of this episode?
Oh, what a hell of a cliffhanger. Actually, it's really funny. The last 3 episodes really... I gotta give this series a lot of credit, by the way. At no point did I ever feel like I was watching filler for this show, right? I gotta give them credit for that. Every episode felt like the story was moving and it was offering me something.
I felt each character.
God, this was not a cliffhanger. I'm not recommending this show for people under 18, Evelyn. And
Tim said they will never kill off Homelander for that reason.
Well, you know they're gonna kill Homelander.
If you've read the comic, you know. Oh man, I hate cliffhangers. I'm sorry, Cliff. Are you doing? You take control of the comics. I won't touch the comics. You take it.
I didn't even touch them.
Oh, somebody was touching them. Phil, is that you?
No, I'm not. No.
Okay. Okay. Wait. I want to get up here.
I touched them.
Look at you, always touching things. Larry says, "Man, I could never get past 2 episodes of The Boys." Oh, Larry, that's so disappointing to hear.
Like Gen V is on my it's on the to watch list. Like I really watched a lot of Murders in the Building. Only Murders in the Building.
I still haven't watched that. Oh, I love that.
I'm like a half hour left of the last season.
Trev the Shipping Guru's in the house. Says what up, Council? Says what up, Cliff? TM90 says, "Hey Trev, My American Dad." That was a great show too, American Dad. But this series, great. If you're a Boys fan, you have to watch this. It does have a.
You also don't have to. Like it is self-contained.
I think you do though, because the elements of what they're going to bring into season 4, with the virus and all that stuff.
I think, but again, basically, I didn't feel like you had to watch The Boys to watch this, and I don't think you have to watch this to enjoy season 4 of The Boys. I just think you get more out of it, right? Like I feel like they filmed it in such a way that like we'll get them eating potatoes.
True, very true. Evelyn says, "I'm casually just sitting here having no idea what anyone's talking about. Seems like I won't for a very long time." Evelyn, we're talking about Gen V. The Boys.
No, because she can't watch all this R-rated and murder and stuff. You know she's gonna turn 18, buy herself a year,
you're gonna have a binge
year
fest.
or something.
You're gonna have a binge fest. Binge.
Yeah.
All right, so Gen V was great. We recommend that. And next one up, Loki, episode number 5. Wow. Bravo.
It was like really good, but, and I know this is like, I'm really harsh of me. I didn't like that it felt like it slowed everything down. But the acting was great. The effects were like, the execution was great, but I also felt like it slowed the story down for me. I know that's like really, it doesn't feel.
But in a sense, it slows down within the story though. So you're just feeling what the story's giving you. Because he is slowing everything down.
No, I get it, but listen, I am in the minority on this. I understand it, but I felt like it slowed the series down for me. But everything about it is actually pretty good, It
could be that Loki was the one that created the TVA. That's a possible theory.
Well, that was a theory. That was an idea that was kicked around for season 1.
One of the things, spoiler alert, Loki is the one who brings Mobius to the TVA. And what's unique and cool about it is that Mobius is a little off with it. He doesn't know if he wants to do it. But Loki explains to him, "I can bring you back right to this point where you leave. So because Mobius has 2 other kids.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like a symbolic of Odin, Thor, and Loki. That one's a little mischief, you know what I mean? Odin can't seem to control them. But he's worried about his kids, and Loki's like, they'll never know you're gone. So this makes Mobius like, okay, if that's the case, yeah, I'm down. And as TM Nerdy says, Loki, the god of stories. So at the end, Loki has figured out how to turn himself into a physical, what do they call him? Tempad.
He figures out how to master his time.
Yeah, he controls his power, which makes him like Ouroboros says, is like you're becoming a human time pad, whatever that thing's called. And he figures it out at the end, and it ends with him going back to where Victor Timely walks down the steps, and he's about to go out. And my thing is, if he has this power, he can go back to any time, not just that time. You feel? I think my theory. Well, here's my theory. What I think he should do. My theory is he's gonna go back to when Sylvie was gonna kill He Who Remains, and he will be the one that stays there and becomes the Loki who remains. I think that's how he'll end it.
I think that's a very ambitious thought on yours.
Remember what He Who Remains said in the first series. One of you guys has to stay. You have to stay here and run it for me. And both of them refused. So I think he's gonna try to fix something again. It's not gonna work. He's gonna realize I have to go back to when this popped off, and that's when Sylvie killed him.
Yeah, but if he does that and he maintains, what do they call the one true timeline?
The sacred timeline.
The sacred timeline.
Right. Like if he goes back to maintain the sacred timeline, like it defeats the purpose of this whole multiverse thing we've been doing with Marvel. Right?
Yeah.
And if he goes back and he chooses to not maintain the sacred timeline, like what's he gonna do? Like keep moving all the chess pieces around so they can support the multiverse? Like the reason I say it's too ambitious is because it's too much for a season finale. And this season finale is supposed to end in a nutshell. It's supposed to end cleanly, right? So we keep hearing. I don't know. I don't feel like it's gonna be that ambitious. I don't think this show has ever been too ambitious, in my humble opinion. Right?
I think it was focused on making a good story, and they did that.
Right. I just know, but I think that's what it's gonna be because I feel like I don't know what I feel like. I honestly think the first thing that's gonna happen is Loki is going to swap places with what's his name?
He Who Remains.
No, Victor Timely, and he's gonna try and go out and do it, right? Like, so that's the first thing.
Because he can stand the temporal aura more than Victor Timely.
More than Victor could. So that I think is the first thing we're gonna see, and then whether or not that works, I don't know. And then but I think you got a really cool idea. I really do. I do not think the writers of this series have been that ambitious. I really don't.
Well, there was something that ties into this. And I'm going to bring this up right now. Linking into the screen share guy. Phil, you can jump in on this too now. So Variety decided to put out, and basically what this says is that beyond the things that Jonathan Majors has done, that he's in court for, there were things that he had done on set, allegedly, to people that were working on the set as well. And so what this is happening, well, the agency that represented Jonathan Majors did not tell Marvel that he had these issues on the set. So this is not Marvel's fault. But they are now working ways to write Kang out of the story and bring Doctor Doom in, which they say is a big problem because the end of Loki, there's going to be like 1 million Kangs or something like that, supposedly. So Marvel is really, really, really hurting right now. They're doing a great job not showing it. But what do you guys think about this?
First off,
I think Doctor
Like,
Doom,
Jonathan Majors is not. Yeah, he's not coming back. Jonathan Majors.
Okay.
So, how do they fix this?
yo, here we go. Right here, I fully agree with this. Just recast.
Just
Because
recast.
it is ridiculous. Because you
Yep.
you know the corner is painted too hard. And by the way, if you read the Variety article in its entirety, it's the fact that at that Marvel retreat, they were like, "Oh my God, how do we pivot to Doctor Doom?" So like they would like to pivot to Doctor Doom, but they acknowledge they painted themselves too hard into a corner. So I gotta stand by the idea the best thing you can do is just recast. And keep it moving.
I mean,
You know?
they've already done it before. I mean, who remembers that? What's his name was Rhodey? Everyone
Right.
I
thinks of Rhodey as Cheeto.
Right.
Of course, you know, but that was early in the MCU, right?
So
You
this is
know?
early in this arc, in this phase of
Yeah, I
MCU.
know, but it's not
Yeah.
early in the MCU. This is let's be honest, Ronaldo. This is the part of the MCU that has been under the most public scrutiny.
I don't disagree. I
So,
don't
like,
disagree with that at all.
Yeah,
However,
so
but
like,
if you
it's not easy.
if you recast and get somebody who can take the role and run with it, nobody's going to remember Jonathan Majors. They're not going to care.
True, but
He's done more than one appearance though. As Kang.
Yeah.
So he has a linger.
Oh,
But
and
I agree with you.
and
They should just recast.
no, they should recast. But let's be honest, though. Okay, one of the best things about Ant-Man and Wasp is that his performance was absolutely scintillating. So I'm like, you got to get someone who is freaking absolute fire to
Yeah.
replace him.
And like Tia said, multiversal characters is the easiest to recast. Me and Kamari were talking about it, and I'd be like, okay, let's settle this real. Jonathan, we need you to do one shot. You're gonna have a shot where you're looking in the mirror and you're gonna go, I want something different. And for whatever reason, you're gonna turn into the next actor who's gonna play Kang.
Oh,
Just gives you a nice easy out. You know what I mean? You'll be done because you know what you did. We're giving you a nice little easy out.
I mean,
and then we'll get the new actor in here.
the easiest thing is if you want to tie it into Loki, is you have him somehow with the temporal, what do you call it, get morphed, and then you just, when he comes back out of a cocoon after being healed, suddenly he's the other actor. He looks different.
Yeah.
How hard is that? That's an easy write. I'm not even a Hollywood writer. I wrote that in 30 seconds.
Yo, you want to know a really sick, twisted route that could have gone? Is Loki goes back to try and fix everything and makes himself and inadvertently makes himself into Kang.
Like it's
I mean, you could do that too.
It's like the way they want to pivot to Doom is a little bit worrisome about what the rest of the Kang story was gonna be like anyway. Like that's a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, really true best thing is just recast. It's the safest.
You could even have Loki go back to change things, and when he changes things, he changes who Kang is.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Oh,
That's
it's not
actually
this
great.
guy anymore because I changed one thing in the past.
I think we'll know like next week when we see how Marvels did, right? Like a week from today, we'll see.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna try and see it on Thursday.
I definitely want to see it this week.
One of the other things they talked about in this article is how, I hope this isn't true, but like now Marvel is panicking so much that they're trying to figure out how to get the original Avengers back. And
I'll be honest with you, I can see that.
It has to be done right, man. It can't be done. You can't push that. It has to be done right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you do it, during Secret War.
That's what I mean.
As part of Kang Dynasty. But the point is, while you're having a big multiversal event, that's when you do it.
Yeah. But it just puts a very sour note on like bringing new characters in. TM Nerdy says I think we should just focus on the world where everyone is an alligator going forward.
Nah.
Simple casting right there. Simple casting. So yeah, issues going on at Marvel. One bright spot I would say about Marvel, I'm gonna bring it in over here from this screen to here. Echo dropped a trailer,
Yo, that trailer looks dope.
which I thought was phenomenal.
Which, by the way,
Right?
I did think it was phenomenal. I also thought it was a smokescreen. I'm like, they're like, yo, this Variety article is killing us. We need something. And it's like, drop the Echo trailer. Do it now.
That's funny. I can see that. Whenever there's something like
This-
bad in the DC's got a new movie like Marvel time.
Yeah, Marvel's
Yeah.
like, look at this.
Look
You
at
know?
this. And they delivered
Yeah.
because this has the tone of the Netflix shows.
Oh, it definitely does. And the
And then-
violence. And the
Yeah, this
violence.
is gonna be rated R.
Yeah, and that trailer didn't hold back. People were getting shot in the head and everything. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah. And with the news that the Punisher showrunner is taking over the Daredevil show.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is great news for these Netflix characters and what people want to see. Like, this is what we want to see. There's one quick shot of Daredevil in the trailer, doing one of his classic Daredevil moves. But I like the way they beefed up Kingpin. He's a little more beefy now. Hawkeye was just a little funny with the
I feel like he's
beefiness,
been
but
beefy.
I think they figured it out. He was tall
looks
and all
kinda
that,
the
but
same
you
as he did
can
in the
tell
original
he's a little
show.
bit more beefy, like a little bit more muscular and stuff like that.
Maybe,
But
but like
that's
they
pretty
could have
cool.
they could have like they also could have like dressed to impress. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's wearing the classic white,
That's what I'm saying.
which makes that
Well,
blood
what I-
stand out.
I mean, remember what I said
Go
the
ahead.
other day in the chat? Don't get me wrong. Michael Clark Duncan, great. Vincent D'Onofrio is Kingpin.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
He exudes that, that, I don't know, you're almost afraid of him.
I put him up there with the Loki cast of Tom Hiddleston. I think they're both great, phenomenal villains, and they're trying to set Kingpin up as one of the villains coming up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because he's supposed to show up with Daredevil and Spider-Man 4, and the main villain of Spider-Man 4 is supposed to be the Kingpin. So they're moving toward that, which I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see Spider-Man. It's like Marvel team up. To see Spider-Man and Daredevil in a major motion picture together, I think that would be great. Trying to get to this one shot of Daredevil. It's like a quick shot. They do reference that when she shot him in the eye in the last series, because you'll see him at the end. He has a patch on his eye. They don't explain like
Right.
how do you get shot in the eye? No die. You know what I mean? So
I mean, if you Google
It's
it,
Kingpin.
it's happened quite a bit.
he's got good doctors, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Like that shot right
It
there.
all
You
depends.
get
It all
shot
depends on
in
how
the head,
how
like,
the-
oh my god.
Yeah.
It all depends on how the bullet exits, and if it bounces around in there. If it exits out sideways, you could get shot in the eye and live.
True. Oh, there he was. There he is. There's DD. He's rocking an all red suit. The all red suit it's the suit from She-Hulk, but it's all red. And rumor is when he does Daredevil Reborn or Born Again, it's Born Again, right? He's gonna have a version of the black and red suit. In
I
that
don't like the black
gotta-
and red suit.
We got a
it's a
comment
good thing.
from Michael.
I'm looking excited for that. That drops in January.
Michael says, "Is it me? I have no
Is it
interest
me? I have
at
no
all
interest in Echo at all.
Wow.
I don't know. This trailer got me interested. This trailer
long as they
definitely
bring
has me
back-
interested.
As long as that we get more of scenes with her and her father, I'm in. Because those ones where there's him teaching her to be strong, even though you're deaf. It's not. Don't use it as a strength, not a weakness.
Right. I think they are gonna have that because they have the actor in the credits. The what do you call
Right.
it?
I'm wondering if
Casting?
it's going to be all flashback stuff because he's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead. Right? Didn't
Yeah.
he die in Hawkeye?
Yeah.
Right.
This takes place after Hawkeye. So.
Right. So it'd have to be all flashbacks. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that was. Oh, we have one more, right?
We do.
Let's just do it right here. Let me pull it up here. Images. I'm just gonna pull up some images. Invincible dropped season 2, episode number 1. Let me pull it up here. I thought it was a pretty good episode.
I thought it was
pretty good.
It was really solid. Very good.
Mark gets the mess beat out of him again. He's always getting the mess beat out of him. He almost died in this episode. The way they were beating, because they were beating him up like Omni-Man beat him up.
Well,
You know?
I mean,
Mark, basically what the tone of this is.
Maybe you're misremembering, but Mark has gotten his ass beat repeatedly in season 1. It's just the Omni-Man beating was the greatest beating.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember when he went?
And Mark's feeling the little pressures right now of. Go ahead.
No, in season 1, he went to that tower and Battle Beast and it was there and the others, and they were whooping the hell out of him. And the Guardians of the Globe showed up and barely saved his ass because they were getting their ass handed to them.
Yeah. This season is basically Mark feeling like he's trying to prove that he's not his dad. He's feeling kind of down. Mom's feeling kind of down. The Guardians of the Globe are out there still. Mark really wants to join them, but the main guy doesn't think he's ready. And he ends up joining them by the end of the episode.
Plus we got parallel universes out there full of trouble.
Parallel universe where Mark joins his father. We got a council of whatever that guy's name was. He's got all his people. But it ends on creating like a real monstrous villain, which is pretty sick. They don't hold back. Like Invincible is, they don't hold back. Invincible is pretty great. Yeah, and I also watched with Kamaria there's a prequel to season 2, like a midway point with Adam Eve. It's her origin story.
Awesome.
That was pretty good too. I really like that one as well. But yeah, Invincible, pretty good. Not much to say about this first episode. We're gonna see where it goes. They're gonna have 4 episodes, then have a break, then they're gonna come back and do the last 5
there's so
episodes.
much that happens in this episode. Robot is asked to step down as leader of Guardians of the Globe. You know,
Yeah.
Mark's mom gets a visit from the wife of Red Rush. And, you know, she's like even thinking like, oh my God, is this woman here to kill me? Because like, obviously my husband's responsible for her husband's death, you know?
Yeah.
And instead she offers her sympathy and support. We actually got too little of Adam Eve, but I mean, we got that Adam Eve origin episode.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like it's balanced. Mark gets into university with his girlfriend, which is something he really wants, you know, even though he's like also in a terrible state of mind after what happened with his father. The twins, the villain who's a clone of himself. I already forgot his name.
2 guys.
Like, yeah, like the fact that they team up with this dude who wants a
These
utopia.
guys.
Oh no, you know, and he's very casual about the fact that one of his alternate universe selves came from a world where Invincible is massacring people, you know. I mean, like, it's a lot. This was a great episode. It was full of storytelling and action. It was a phenomenal 46 minutes, whatever it was. I was really happy with this.
Yeah. And the
But
Immortals
you're right, Team Nerdy. We need more Adam Eve because she's great.
Yeah. He also said before it'd be cool if there was a Kingpin series. We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, that may be the selling point.
I don't
of
know.
Echo. Maybe we'll get some good Kingpin out of it.
Did we look
I
at
don't
this
know.
comic? But why did we get bad reception?
think
I wonder
Kingpin
if
can
the
hold
new
his own
Daredevil
series.
was going to be like this. But since Echo was stated as a bad show, they decided to change Daredevil. I don't think it was because Echo was a bad show. From what I heard, Kevin Feige watched the first 9 episodes that they had filmed already and said, "Oh hell no," and fired everybody after that. So yeah. All right. Invincible. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. All right. So we're gonna get into the box office news. Like this week, huh? What's this box office looking like? Five Nights at Freddy's is number 1 again.
Not surprised.
Huh.
Woo! Five Nights at Freddy's is number 1 again. They brought in about 19 million. It's down 75% though. That's a big drop. Down 75%.
Sure is. Yeah.
And it went up like it was in 100 more theaters. Taylor Swift stays strong at number 2. The Eras tour.
Told you.
She only
All
dropped
her own
12%.
money too.
Yeah, she only
Yeah,
dropped 12%, brought 13.
And she dropped 169 theaters.
And she dropped 169 theaters. So there's still these fans are going to find other theaters to watch this in is what they're doing. She got loyal fans, man. I can't hate on it. Killers of the Flower Moon stays at number 3 with 7 million. Only dropped 24%. It went in 150 more theaters. So that's all right. Priscilla jumps from 20 to number 4.
Wow.
20 to number 4 with a 3,747% increase, and it went into 1,300 more theaters. Of course, this is a movie about Priscilla Presley and Elvis.
I hear Jacob Elordi is excellent as Elvis.
I hear that as well. I still have to watch the other Elvis movie.
Me too.
Yeah. Radical is the new entry. It comes in making about 2 million. The Exorcist drops from 5 to number 6, dropped 34%. It also was dropped from about 280 screens. I made about 2 million. After Death brought in 2 million, dropped 60%, while going up in theater screens. Paw Patrol still in the top 10, dropped only 15%, brought about 2 million in, and it dropped to nearly 340 screens. What Happens Later is a new entry, brought in 1.5. Freelance comes in at number 10, drops 40%. Saw drops to number 11, brought in 1 million. Nightmare Before Christmas brings in under 1 million. The Marsh King's Daughter is a new entry at number 13. The Creator comes in at number 14, dropping from number 10. Anatomy of a Fall dropping from number 11 to number 15. The Holdovers with an increase of about 180% and went on about 50 more screens, brought in a little bit over 500 million. Oppenheimer is up almost 400%, and it went plus 309 screens.
So went back to the IMAX.
They're thinking that push. Let's see here. Let's see.
Trying to give it that push to the billion.
It's gonna do it, man.
Yeah, they're trying to get that push to $1 billion in.
Yeah, I said.
Also, there's not a lot happening.
You gotta
for
make
IMAX
50
right
more
now,
million.
So a re-release made sense, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That would be great if you can get to $1 billion. But
Have you seen it yet?
we'll see.
I have not.
And then you got. No, I have not. Gran Turismo is up 1,100%. And it brought in 374,000. And then, all the others that round out this top 30. All right. nothing surprisingly. The Marvels comes out next week, so
Yep.
we're gonna anybody. Let's see what's the number. What's your guesstimates for the Marvels?
Opening weekend? Just opening weekend?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
163.
Oh, you're giving her big numbers. That's big
Just for
numbers
the
right
opening
there.
weekend. It's going to dip significantly after the first weekend. Was it opening worldwide or is it just opening US?
What is that? Your worldwide number or your domestic number?
Yeah, no, worldwide. 163 opening weekend.
Possible. Could be possible. Phil?
Domestically, I'd say 81.
81. Okay.
Oh wow. Domestically, domestically I could see it being like 120.
You think it's gonna be 120 domestically?
Yeah, domestically I could see it being 120.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go with Phil. I feel like it could be 120 domestic.
really? That's a lot of faith in the home crowd right there.
You know what? Because let's be honest, when you look around at who has the most negative opinions about this movie coming out, it's mostly people online. So I want to see. I'm optimistic about reality. But do I expect it to underperform for a Marvel movie in general? Unfortunately, I kind of do. But I do think it's gonna have a good opening weekend.
I think it'll have a good opening weekend. And I think it's going to suffer. Like, I don't think it's going to be an $1 billion movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it about
Unless it gets crazy
70
reviews.
million. I'm gonna give it 70 million domestic, and I'll give it about 118 worldwide.
But do you really think no one's going out to see this movie?
No. 70 million is a lot. We're talking for a Marvel movie, though.
Yeah,
Your
I know, but
expectations are pretty high.
I feel like the opening weekend could still be strong.
If
Right.
it makes 70 million, Disney's bloodbath is real.
Yeah,
Well,
real.
Here's the It's going to make a bunch of money, I think, its opening weekend. If it gets good reviews, good word of mouth, it'll have legs and it'll make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
We'll see. This is
Did you
like
see
the
that? Did you see that last trailer they dropped, which I felt was another Marvel smoke screen, where it's like they show them, what do you call it, switching places and fighting?
Yeah, they also teased the X-Men.
Yeah,
because they had a thing. Yeah, and the multiverse realities crashing. Yeah,
but I thought it was a very good teaser. It looked very polished, so that can mean a lot of things for this movie. If we get some really polished stuff,
I hope it's good, man. But I think this is the last of this era of that Marvel movie. Do you get what I'm saying?
I absolutely agree.
This is the last one.
Listen. We know damn well they're in those boardrooms sweating, trying to figure out how to get this back to the heyday.
Yeah, because the next one is Deadpool 3, which they pushed back.
Right,
Did
they push it back again?
They might swap it with Captain America 4.
How far did it get pushed back? That's some news.
Well, they have this
a little bit.
Like a month.
Here's the thing, though. It's a Marvel movie, but it's not a Marvel movie.
But it is part of the Marvel multiverse.
It is now.
No, it is.
This is the first Deadpool MCU movie, if you want to put it that way.
Right, but let's be realistic. Nobody really considers they're going to fold it into the MCU, but it's still kind of its own thing. It's still kind of its own thing.
People are really looking forward to how they're going to handle this. This fold into the MCU.
I mean, technically, any of those Sony Sinister Six movies are technically Marvel movies too, but would we consider them? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Remember, Sony is still a problem because Sony is still a private entity, right?
Right.
But all the Fox stuff has officially been folded into the Marvel movie multiverse. They acknowledge it.
They acknowledge it, but does the fan base acknowledge that? Is my point.
The fan,
do you in your head go, "Oh yeah, it's all one universe"?
Acknowledging
or do you not still go?
No, I think the fan base is very much looking forward to it. Like all I can see is people being like, "Oh, what do you think they're gonna do with this and this and this?" And oh, they got Jennifer Garner back and blah 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 blah. It's like, the buzz is real.
Yeah. It's $1 billion movie out the gate. Whether it makes $2 billion, we'll see.
You know what? Deadpool hasn't made $1 billion. Like, yeah. I don't
Oh,
think
well,
that's-
this time. It
Yeah,
will
you
this
think-
time. You got Hugh Jackman. Oh, wait. Sorry.
Okay.
Wait, Deadpool has made a billion.
Oh, was it worldwide? Okay.
Yeah,
Number 2 made $1 billion, I think, or something like that.
both of them got.
The first
hit
one
the
didn't
mark.
make $1 billion. I don't think the first one.
Oh
made $1 billion.
yeah.
Look that up. I don't think so.
No.
Oh, the first
I don't
one only
think it
hit
did.
700.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yes, technically it's a Marvel.
And what the
movie.
second one hit?
And the second one,
It's technically a Marvel movie.
sorry,
You're matrixing out, green shirt guy.
the second one's 734 million.
Yeah, he hasn't made $1
That's
billion.
weird because I swore the second one was hitting the billion
Yeah. Oh.
with two releases. It had the regular release and the PG-13 release.
Yeah, no. This one will though, without a doubt.
I think
We're gonna be so amazed at the numbers that come from Deadpool 3. That it's.
Oh, forget it. Yo, if Taylor Swift is actually there, watch it explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the second weekend might make more than the first weekend. of Deadpool
Possibly.
3.
Yeah, probably.
You know?
All right. So that was the film and box office news, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get. Did you do your homework? Hey, did you do your homework out there?
I did.
We're in the Thanksgiving season here. We're in November. So where's my cursor? Okay, there it is. There it is. And the movie and the homework you were supposed to do was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, starring Steve Martin and John Candy. Came out in 1987. It is directed by John Hughes. Stars the late great John Candy. It's about a Chicago advertising man must struggle to travel home from New York for Thanksgiving with a lovable oaf. Lovable oaf. I don't know about lovable at times, maybe, but of a shower curtain ring salesman as his only companion. I'll let you guys go first. Go ahead, start off.
Yeah.
I think he is lovable, even though it's like really annoying.
I like this one. Yeah.
You know, I love this movie. And
He goes back and forth though. Like he's
He has like his lovable moments, but as like a New Yorker, if I had to like actually like travel with him, I would have lost him like hard. Like you would have just shook him off. Like after like the first incident,
I mean-
like I'm leaving this dude at the airport.
yeah. Well, the part where
Yeah.
they're in bed and he's clearing his sinuses, I'd have knocked him out.
Yeah.
No chance. I'm sleeping in bed listening to that.
Jeez. I like the way they just set up this whole film. Like he trips right here, and he trips over the luggage of the John Candy character. So it's just like a foreshadowing of what's
well,
to come.
after run,
This part, the way they were running down, like they're running down New York City to catch this cab, and I'm like, so you two are the only two people that
That
see
was,
this cab all the way down there. That you
That
guys
was,
all
Kevin
run down
Bacon
there.
racing him,
Yeah.
right? That was
Well, remember,
Kevin Bacon, yeah.
Bacon was in that. All right, so this scene, what's happening with him and Kevin
Yeah.
Bacon is
Well-
Kevin Bacon was in that movie where he was a runner, and like this was like a tribute to that movie he was just in, right? So it's
Yeah.
like it's a glorified cameo for Kevin Bacon, and then they're doing the run. Especially Steve Martin is clearly running parallel to someone much younger than him. You know?
Yeah.
And it makes a great scene for physical comedy. But yeah, in New York, that cab is gone. Like,
Well, that car reminds me of that green car of National Lampoon's.
yes.
yes, the
It's like a version
family
of that.
truckster.
Yeah. So it's just a whole. Oh, wait, my screen's jumped out for a second. I'm so sorry. Are you still there?
Yeah.
My thing's loading up. My screens. What is going on here?
All right. Well, my favorite part of the whole movie.
Keep talking about
And you guys may laugh or may not think, is the part where the son of the small inn that they stay in is going to drive him to the train station, and he gets
Yes.
out. For a couple of reasons. That actor always plays maybe as a result or of this role, or in spite of this role, becomes a guy who's like always prim and proper in movies. But he's like and making all those noises. But my favorite line in the whole thing, he's like, "Her first baby come out sideways." I friggin' crack up laughing every time he says it.
Keep
It's
talking,
something
because my thing.
Well,
Well, my
you guys
favorite
keep
thing
talking.
is when they're driving and he starts falling asleep at the wheel, and then they're like in oncoming traffic, swinging around, screaming, look at each other. One of them sees death, the other one sees the devil. I thought that's hilarious.
I like the part where he like
Or the
it was
part
around
where he goes to get the
can't get
car and
his,
it's not there.
yeah, and it's gone, and like I love that.
All right, I'm going
I
to.
just love that he's just trying to smoke.
I'm gonna leave and come back. You guys keep going.
I think he ends up getting the rental
Sure.
car, but I think he gets like pulled up by his nuts or something like that.
Yes, because the guy punches him out, and then
Yeah.
Belsh pulls up. He's like, don't leave him in the road. Help this guy. And then he picks him up by his nuts. The part
Yes.
that bothers me every time I watch this movie, though, is at the very end, when the wife comes down the stairs and you have the take my breath away music playing and all that nonsense.
Yes.
It doesn't feel earned. Like, yeah, you missed him, but like he was on business. He's gone for 2 days. Like, it happens. It's not like he's been missing and presumed dead for a month.
I think it
No.
was a lot
She
more
was-
earned the year, like you felt it a little bit more in like 1987 and 88.
No, absolutely. Because you got to think about it. There was no way for her to communicate with him. And the last time we see her, she is awake in the middle of the night and the phone has not rung and she's not heard from him.
Okay, but it's
Right?
not like she knows he's coming home, though.
Right,
It's
but
not
every
like-
time she talks to him, it sounds perilous. So yeah, the fact that she is like, I believe it. I'm sold on it because at that point in time, she does not know. He's all over Milwaukee, Michigan, and all over these crazy places. Like,
I mean,
it's earned for me.
I'll give you that. However, the kids even say, "Oh, Dad's gonna be late again," the first time he calls. So
Right.
it's
No,
not like this hasn't happened before. Is my point.
No, but they expect him to be late, as in a late flight. They do not expect him to take 2 days to get home, to be on a road trip with some crazy Canadian who's not Canadian in this movie. But although he does read a Canadian book in this movie, which
The
is fun.
Canadian
Yeah,
Mounted.
Canadian Mounted, yeah. I love that. But like,
There's a lot of little sight gags like that in this movie.
There is. It's really well done. But honestly, I think the vibe of like, it's one thing that you take the late flight home and then I end up waiting for you at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, right? Which is like what we're used to as a family. And now it's like, oh my God, like this is the second day you're not here. Are you even going to make it for Thanksgiving? And then we escalate to she's awake in bed and has not heard from him, right? Like I feel like the course was steady to like, escalate her concern and then have that moment.
But she didn't hear from him the last day too, because then
That's
he tried
what I'm
to.
saying. She's lying up. She's lying in bed in the middle of the night, and they show her staring at the phone in the bedroom in the middle of the night. I thought that was like a very telling scene to promote her concern.
Yeah.
It didn't hit for me, and that's fine. If it did for you guys, for me it didn't.
Is that actually like, because like all the stuff they really like do is like travel things. The travel much in like the 80s. Not that I did much of it. Must have been horrific. Like all these things still happen today.
Yeah.
Like even there are like delayed flights. And, like it has
And no internet. No internet. Do you know how my parents met? My mom
No.
went on went on a neighborhood trip to Canada, to Niagara Falls, right? And when I mean, the bus trip that the neighborhood does in the city, right? She grew up on Dykeman, so they do this big bus trip. So my mom's there, one of her best friends, my grandmother, my great aunts, and they're all traveling. They get to Niagara Falls, they see the falls. That's really cool. And then they get to the hotel, and the hotel's like, I don't know what arrangements you made, but there must be some error. We're fully booked. There's nothing available here. The next large city you can go to with available rooms is
Oh, jeez.
Ottawa, because that's the capital. So they drive hours on this bus from Niagara Falls to Ottawa, Ontario, where they do find a room. The travel person in charge fixes the whole situation.
Wait a
And,
minute.
like,
Ottawa is nowhere near Niagara Falls.
correct. Hours on the bus. Hours.
That was the next spot for the nearest
like
room. Wow.
5-6 hours easy.
Yes, because you have to think
5 to
back
6
then,
hours,
no
easy.
internet, nothing. Right, and it's the only major city that they could telephone to. The hotel they were at that had the mistake, right? They were like, it's the only major city with available rooms. I can't even get over it, and like you can't
Jeez.
make this stuff up because I'm here. So yes, I want you to understand, like, me knowing my family story, growing up with that, and like watching this movie and the craziness unfold, like, and in the era where we still didn't have the internet.
Like I could see like people having like going home for the holidays back then. Like these things could like just deter you, like hit you,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
other thing I found interesting was when he was really skeeved out about the payphone.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, because like you don't really see payphones anymore. But I was just thinking to him, I was like, and I used so many of them. It was just like, yeah, I'll just pick it up, no worries. Like, yeah.
Right. I think it would have been funny if they buttoned it at the end though with his buddy that was supposed to bring his gloves to him.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that guy.
If his buddy was at the house with the gloves,
Yeah, waiting for him.
be like,
Yeah.
dude, where have you been?
And there was a post-credit scene for this movie.
There was
too,
a post-credit scene for this.
where
Yeah.
the advertiser is still looking at the advertisement, like with his Thanksgiving there.
He's got a nice little spread for food there too. This scene right here is what gave it the rated R.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
What was it, like?
Oh
20
yeah,
Fs
they
right
dropped
there?
a few F.
He dropped like
That's
20
what
F-bombs.
19 F-bombs. 19.
Yeah, I believe it.
So
He had to fight to keep that scene in the movie.
You know,
You
no,
can start by wiping that effing smile off your effing face.
Yeah.
and no
Oh, by the
planes,
way-
trains too. Like this was just a one and done. Like they didn't try to make a second one.
No,
Well,
it
which
was
I
great.
think a second one would have been good though. Like him living
Yeah,
with
I
them,
think you
with the
ruined it, though.
family.
It stretches credulity though, because why would he's being nice to Dell at the end, but there's no way that they're in each other's lives after Thanksgiving.
But that's what we thought during the movie, though, right? There's no way that he's continuing on this adventure with Dell. But he just constantly thinks about it, and he ends up doing it. So I could see Dell living with him.
I can see them like it almost would have been a Home Alone thing, like where they could have. But I'm kind of glad that there was no planes, trains, and automobiles too. I think they might have it might be like a reboot, maybe. But
There's a remake supposedly coming from Will Smith.
I don't think it's gonna have the same. It's gonna have that same magic.
I will tell you this. Number one, the studio was mad at this movie nonstop.
Really?
They were mad about the 19 F-bombs. They were mad that they wouldn't drop the scene, and constantly mad at Steve Martin,
Which
by
scene?
the way, which made
that scene.
filming difficult. Steve Martin's house, they spent $100,000 building that house. And the studio's like, why did you do this? Why didn't you use a studio for the house? Why did you have to build
You
the
didn't have
house?
to spend that money on that. You didn't have to do
Yeah,
that.
they were furious. And Steve Martin wanted, he wanted this movie to be this movie, And and he wasn't even. I forgot how he ended up butting heads, but it became very problematic. But worth it because this movie is still great, and this movie did make a nice profit for them.
I'm sure.
Whack Comics is in the house. Hello there,
Lee.
I also love
my friend.
the rant he goes on right after, he's clearing his sinuses or whatever, and he's saying all these different things like, I could sit through an insurance seminar and people would ask me, how
Yeah.
could you do it? Well, I was with Del Griffin.
But
And
John
then
Candy sold that scene with his eyes and his
Oh,
facial
yeah.
expressions alone.
Yeah.
Even like when we were watching it, Kamari is watching, she's like, oh, and then all of a sudden you hear the oh. And I'm like,
Right.
oh, he's killing it.
Yeah.
Michael always said, I watched One Crazy Summer last night. That was the movie we were talking about at Comic Book Day. The night before was Better Off Dead. Oh, classic movies. One Crazy Summer is one of my favorites.
Which one's One Crazy
so
Summer?
this-
I don't remember that one. Which one is that?
That's with John Cusack, and they have, it's with the ski lift people.
Man, I don't remember. Better Off Dead, I remember. But One Crazy Summer
Yeah.
escapes me.
And then the one little character that's all he wants is $2.
That's Better Off Dead.
That's Better Off Dead? I thought it was
Yeah.
One Crazy Summer.
One Crazy Summer is this guy and his friends are trying to help a singer save her family property.
I mean, I don't remember that one at all.
Mm.
I've probably seen it. I just don't remember it.
Demi Moore. Yeah, Demi Moore.
Better Off Dead's got one of the better lines in all of John Cusack movies, where he's laying in the back of the trash truck as it goes under that overpass with the two black guys doing the construction. He goes, the one turns the other, goes, man, it'd be a shame when people be throwing a perfectly good white boy away like that.
My computer's acting up. Keep talking about it, guys, because I have to pop out and pop back in.
I mean, I'm trying to think of what. Oh my god, you know what? So one of his better moments, for John Candy in this movie, when they were like really strapped, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna sell these shower rings." He's like, "What do you mean?"
Yes.
Right? And
he gives them his earrings.
Earrings, and like, oh yeah, these are the best. He's like, they're all the rage, and I thought it was really nice that they had this like moment to like show that he's a good salesman. You know?
Yeah.
I like the part where he's like air pianoing with Ray Charles going down the road. Like,
Yes.
great.
Yes. How about where right after they get robbed in the first hotel and they're eating breakfast or whatever, and they go to pay for it, and he says the thing about I'm trying to think exactly what he says. He says something along the lines of like, well, look in my wallet, that's what's missing. And then and Steve Martin opens his wallet, he's like, yeah, it's empty. He goes, we were robbed. Like, it all of a sudden it hits him right then.
It's just good. I like when they're eating towards the end, and again, he's really ready to say goodbye to Dal and brush him off, you know, and they kind of have a nice moment. But then when he's getting on his train, he starts thinking, like, wait a second, what has this guy really been telling me the whole time we've been together?
Yes.
You know? I thought that was sold really well. I like when they were bonding a little bit in the hotel room, having a beer and stuff. Like, that was really nice.
Yes.
But of
Yeah,
course,
Doritos at the one hotel. Like,
yes, because things weren't quite so bad at that moment in time.
Well, except for he had to take a shower and dry himself with a washcloth.
Yeah, that was awful. So yeah, it's just I feel bad. I still end up feeling bad for John Candy's character, but at the same time, I was like, dude, how are you so oblivious all the time?
Well, that's it. I mean, there's times that he goes back and forth, and probably just not just me, where you do love him, and then you're like, man, he's gross, and then, oh, he's not that bad, and then he does something really annoying, but then he's not that bad. So it's like, yeah.
yeah.
By the way, for a sequel for this movie, I absolutely imagine them living as neighbors.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
You know, where he has a better sales job that Steve Martin's character probably helped him get, right? And then, of course, because they technically kind of work together, a new trip happens.
Yeah.
And now they're stuck trying to get home again.
Exactly.
Yeah. It had a very nice ending. Very
It was
touching
very
ending.
sweet.
Very sweet.
Very sweet.
Definitely a
At the
recommendation
time,
for Thanksgiving.
you probably felt it a lot more that he actually
Yeah.
gets home. It's a little bit more tear jerky a moment that
Yeah.
might not have that might have been lost in the age of the movie now.
Yeah.
Somewhere in like the 45 years.
But you know what? If I were doing it now, I would make sure in the last 48 hours they lose their cell phones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So to send their family
they get stolen.
panic.
Or they get
Have
stolen.
their stuff get stolen. But they need to we need to set the stage to send the family into a panic.
Yeah, but this can never happen.
Yes, it can.
How can it happen?
What do you need for them to have everything stolen first?
No, this movie can't happen.
Why
You're
not?
talking about
Why not?
John Candy is no longer with us.
I said, no, dude. I'm talking about for the remake.
Oh,
for
Well, here's
first
the thing, though.
entry.
Here's the thing, though. Even if your phone did get stolen, we live in a different world now, though, where you could just borrow somebody's phone. You could go use the internet. You could do a number of things to communicate with your family.
If you're going to use the internet, where are you going to go? The library? Because people are not going to be that nice. And don't think people are that nice to hand you the phone. Last time I handed a stranger my phone, it said he dialed a real number. I dialed the number for him, and it sent an SMS message with one of my credit card informations attached to his phone. And I figured it out the next day.
That's wild.
So I don't try. We're done with the age of trust. So yeah, my plot for the movie will be lots of mistrust.
When did the age of trust ever exist, Cliff? When?
There in 1987.
No, it did not exist then.
It did.
I might have lost my trust with John Candy when the car burned down. Right?
For real.
But by that point, he was stuck with him. Really, he was.
I
stuck.
do love where he's trying to pay with the credit cards that are like just burnt to a crisp.
Yep. And it's like,
And
just
have mercy.
What's funny is that they showed his watch in the beginning of the movie, and Kamara was like, "Oh, that's a really nice watch." And then at the end, he was like, "And this really nice watch." I looked at it. I was like, all right.
I don't know. I give this one I think it's like an 8 for me. Like this was an 8. This still had like definitely a few funny moments where I was laughing hard. Like they have not aged out. So I think it's like an 8.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it. I don't watch this like every year or anything. So it's been a long time since I watched this one.
Yeah. Solid 8 for me. I watch it every year. I love it. I also watch Home for the Holidays. So that's my next recommendation if anybody cares.
Is that the one with Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
No, that's the one with Robert Downey Jr.
I don't know if I've seen that. I'm down.
I don't know if that's a big enough movie for Thanksgiving, though. We need the Thanksgiving movie.
It is the Thanksgiving movie. It really is. It says everything about, disastrous families. Holly Hunter and Anne Bancroft star in it alongside Robert Downey Jr. I don't know what else we need to sell this movie. Steve Guttenberg is there too.
Well, we'll see.
It's got the Gutenberg.
It's got the Gutenberg.
I give this movie an 8.5.
Yeah.
Green Shirt Guy, what's yours?
I'd say, I don't know if I get quite as high as an 8.5. I give it it's an 8. I watch it. We watch it as part of our like holiday round, the stack of movies we watch every year. So I've seen it probably the last 2 years. So yeah, I'd say an 8. It still makes me laugh.
Yeah, so we recommend this. This is an 8. This is up high for the council. Recommend.
And we're in agreement, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Seldom
Somebody came in like 6.
Seldom happens here.
It's a 2.
What are we watching next week? What's their homework for next week?
I already threw my suggestion out there, everybody.
I like I said, I haven't seen that one, so I'm down for it.
It's a good one. It's from 1995. It's an hour and 44 minutes. Holly Hunter, Robert Downey Jr., Anne Bancroft, Steve Guttenberg. It's a good one.
Are there any others?
Just trying to
that
think
are Thanksgiving themes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. I mean, we're almost getting to a bunch of them that are Christmas that aren't really Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I mean, this one is just like, for me, it's the premier Thanksgiving movie because it is at Thanksgiving. It is happening.
I just want to see
Yeah.
if there's any other options out there.
It's happening.
I am looking at the options and they are grim, my friend.
Well, tell us what they are. Don't make your judgment on them.
Oh my God. Like, hold on.
Don't leave any out that you don't want to see.
Really? Like, oh my God. Wait, does Rocky take place at Thanksgiving?
Oh,
That's not a Thanksgiving movie. I don't care
That
what
is
you
a Thanksgiving movie.
say. That's not a
Rocky?
Dude,
Is
no,
it?
it's not. No, it is not.
I think
It is not a Thanksgiving movie. We talked about this last year with what's a Christmas movie. Just because it takes place around Christmas does not make it a Christmas movie.
Huh.
I mean, yeah, no, it's a boxing movie. It's not a Thanksgiving movie.
I'm trying to find one where Thanksgiving is actually like part of the plot.
Let's see here. They have Rocky on here for that. They have
Rocky,
Spider-Man on there.
Big Chill. Yeah, they got Spider-Man, Adam's Family
let's see.
Values.
Yeah, but some of those don't count because Thanksgiving is only 1 minute of the movie.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm looking through the list here. My Blue Heaven. Oh wow. Yeah, I don't see. There's Home for the Holidays. I don't really see
Black
any.
Friday.
I mean, for that matter, he's just not that into you as a Thanksgiving movie because they're all over at Jennifer Aniston's father's house around Thanksgiving, where after he has a heart attack. I mean, like, come on.
Oh, son-in-law. There we
Oh my
That's
goodness.
actually probably is a Thanksgiving movie.
So I think we'll go with what Cliff said.
Okay.
Give us some leeway to think of other
Holidays.
movies.
And you won't be disappointed. It is a very well received movie.
So Home for the Holidays, everybody. That's your homework for next week.
Do we have to pay
And
for it, or we know what it's on?
We may have to pay for it because I can't find it.
While you're looking at that, Whack Comics asks, what does MLMLLC mean? Whack, that is my company called Mildred's Love Media LLC, named it after my good mother. That's where all these things go under. They are the parent company.
Looks like YouTube, Hulu,
Yeah, but they
Amazon.
all say with a premium subscription. I don't like that. I don't like that little tag of premium subscription.
Apple.
What does that mean?
I'll just pay the $3.99 and rent it.
Because I have Apple, but I don't. What makes it premium?
Oh, Apple.
No,
I think
it means that you got.
No, if you go through
have another
Hulu.
service.
Yeah, if you go through Hulu, they make you get a subscription before watching certain movies. All right, so that's the homework for next week, ladies and gentlemen. Home for the holidays.
1995.
Oh, we're not buying it; we're renting it.
No, the movie year, the year.
Oh, scared me.
1995.
Yeah. Just
Was
so you
this
know, you're
before
watching the
or-
right one.
Is this pre-rehab for Downey Jr. or post-rehab, like the last one?
This is pre.
Oh, it's pre. It's 1995, dude.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
I
pre.
couldn't remember when he was finally kind of went off the rails completely.
All right. So that is our show for today, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank everybody for watching. Let me go into these comments, give shout outs to everybody that came in today. Shout out to Larry Jackson, who's always here. We love you, Larry. Shout out to TM Nerdy, part of the best Sunday lineup ever. Shout out to Felix Graham Cracker for joining us. Shout out to Evelyn Hill for joining us. Shout out to Trev, the shipping guru. He's on at 10 o'clock tonight. Also part of the best Sunday lineup. Shout out to Michael Hoy for coming on. Shout out to Whack Comics all the way from the other side of the world. Thank you for tuning in. And that's it. So remember, we'll be back next Sunday at 5 p.m. to go over Home for the Holidays and the rest of the film and box office news and whatever TV and stuff that's going on. Join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. at the same place where we'll go over all the new keys and hot comics that are coming out this week. for November the 6th, 2023. We go over all the new keys, all the hot comics, and all the new comics that are coming out. Come join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. And also check out all the other stuff we got going on the channel. Tons of videos, wide variety for the comic book collecting community. Comic book pickups, new comic book days, skits, pop culture crash, council conversations, just a ton of stuff on there. Please hit that subscribe button. If you're on the Facebooks, jump over to the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. So for myself, for Phil, for Green Shirt Guy, and for Cliff, and the rest of the Council of Comics, we love you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Come see us at Icon.
Icon, November 18th. We'll talk more about it tomorrow, so you got to show up. And Newburgh Toy Show next week, 11th on Saturday. Shout out to Toy Games. All right. See you guys next time. Peace.